we're back. I was getting separation anxiety from the audience.
Yeah.
It's good to be here at the GSL, sponsored by Pepsi, Razer, and G-Skill, partnered with Blizzard to bring you 6 StarCraft 2 action. Now, we're on to the next part of this. Our next Terran versus Terran.
Winner versus winner.
Yeah.
The winner of this will go on to the round of 16 immediately. The loser will meet the winner of the next game to see who goes on as well.
Who do you think is the favorite in this?
MVP without any doubt in my mind ever in 1,000 million billion trillion bajillion years.
Well, that's a lot of years, Artosis.
Never, ever
It's like by then the Earth will be gone. We will have destroyed it with all the pollution. All right. Well, let's see. Artosis thinks MVP is a favorite. I think MVP is the favorite as well. Maybe not as strongly, but you never know. Optimus is very scary. He's a very adroit player. We'll see how he handles this Game Genie Terran. All right, the game is now loaded head-to-head. Don't laugh at me because my voice went too high in that, Artosis. Shut up, Artosis. You have no passion.
Say anything.
Shut up. You're looking at me and smiling at me. All right, head-to-head. Polt against MVP here at the GSL Kodos. The winner will move on. To get deeper in this tournament, the loser is going to have to fight to survive. In the red, at the bottom left corner, his name is Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime, we.
I am so uncomfortable every time I watch that video.
I began closing my eyes.
I forgot if MVP was good at the intro video or not. In the upper right corner, opposite to Optimus, we have the Game Genie Terran.
I am MVP.
His head is really shaky in that, man.
It's a little wiggly.
Call him Wigglesworth.
Slow down there, Wigglesworth. Wiggle ups.
My little Wigglums.
Wuggums. All right, it's going to be a Refinery first build here for Optimus. MVP going for the opposite. Barracks first, then Refinery.
Yeah. Slight differences. I feel like MVP, if he just watched that match, and he's as smart as I think he is,
he's pretty smart.
He'll go mech this game because Optimus showed, that.
Well, look, it's not that the Marine Marauder style is terrible and it's bad, but
no,
it's
you
like
can use it.
I don't think you should make that. Yeah, I don't think you should even generally make that the staple move.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think it's any longer a staple. I think you can use it more on some maps than others. This map, not even too bad for it, to be honest.
No, not terrible.
Marine Tank might be a little bit better here. But, I don't know. Noble S got so far ahead of him. He got into a position where I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to say it, but Noble S is going to beat Polt this game. And then he just, did what we've already talked about.
Yeah.
And you know how I always say, Tasteless, when you're ahead, just get further ahead. When you're going mech against someone who's going bionic, getting further ahead is actually just sitting still.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't comfortable with
Just
that because they don't understand how mech play really works. Now, he looks like MVP's going to... what's he doing? He's just hiding there? I thought he might make something in the base.
That'd be funny.
Just makes a barracks. He had that little slight SCV movement like he was going to do it.
Makes a supply depot.
I'm like, what are you doing? And then he sinks in the ground. He's like, it's okay. It's underground. I'm like, no, man.
Optimus thinks it's one of his own. I had that happen to me in StarCraft 1 once. That was really funny. I looked at my minimap. I'm like, I look over in my base. I'm like, no, nothing's there.
I've had that when I play Zerg, where back when the game first came out, somebody would be making stuff on my creep, and I'd be like, oh, what is that?
Yeah,
I'm like, a spine crawler, and then it's open up, and I'm like, oh, come on.
I don't remember making that, but I guess it's a good idea.
I need defense.
All right, so both players getting starports at very similar times. Optimus is just slightly quicker because of his gas first.
So he will be getting a Banshee out of that. And I can only imagine Optimus being slightly frustrated right now. That moment that he saw, oh, he's actually got an SCV in my base. He sees everything now.
And he saw that it was one gas, so that's going to tell MVP not to get a Raven. Whereas Optimus isn't going to know. Should he get a Raven? Well, I think we're going to see Cloak from MVP, so yeah, that'd probably be a really good idea. In fact, I'm quite sure that we're going to see Cloak from him. Oh, I like that. That's a nice little harassment right there. It's going to take a while for him to actually clear out, but he should be targeting one depot.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You want to try to get one burning so SCVs have to come up and stuff gets messy. You want to make stuff messy for your opponent. Get spaghetti all over his face like he's a 1-year-old.
Yep. Meanwhile, you got your lunch lady apron on.
That's right.
You got your hairnet on.
You absolutely have your hair now, and you do not want a hair in the spaghetti.
No, that is just gross. That's just grody. Well.
And he's actually not getting cloak. Kind of interesting. You're getting blue flame instead. And he is actually going to get a Raven.
Yeah, that's
even though
weird.
he saw just one gas.
Well, the
for
Raven
Optimus.
can have uses in the mid-game.
Yeah, I think he's just going to use it later on. I think you're right. He wants to start storing some energy up. And, you know, that's not necessarily a bad move at all.
Not
Optimus, by the way, during all that, missed a supply depot and dropped a supply and made a depot at the same time. So, oops.
Optimus making a few mistakes here and there. Optimus does have a 10 supply lead, though.
Yep.
It's pretty big for early TDT. Think of how much more ahead he'd be if he hadn't forgotten that depot. That is why I'm confused about MVP not even getting a Viking.
Yeah.
I was like, didn't you just see what he was doing?
Yeah, this is a bit peculiar, I have to say.
This is actually really bad, Artosis.
Oh my
God.
And
I was actually holding my breath for that. The auto turret didn't kill it. Wow, MVP, you really messed up.
yeah, this is, you know, we've had so many great games tonight, but I'm feeling like this is a really weird one for us. What exactly is going on this game?
You know, it's like he scouted what was coming at him,
Yeah.
and then he's like, all right, well, I'm just going to ignore that.
Yeah,
I don't know if MVP was trying to be like way too smart and thought, you know what? Now that I scouted him, there's no way he'll make a Banshee. You know what I mean?
People always make the Banshee, though.
Well, I have no other explanation, man.
Yeah,
this
I don't
is just
have any.
weird.
Yeah, it certainly was just weird. I think he thought he'd have more Marines sit there and help hold it off. I mean, the auto turret did a good job. Well, anyways, it's time for him to expand. It's 22 SCVs to 30, so now he's 8 SCVs behind Optimus. I like Optimus's unit composition. He's going, once again, for a Marine Marauder, it looks like, with some siege tanks in there.
No, sorry. Please go ahead.
No, you.
No, you. It's like a politeness contest.
Well, we have mech from MVP against just the bionic style from Optimus. So we're going to see, can MVP not make the huge mistakes that Noblesse did? And will Optimus actually find some holes, some timing to do something? Nice little Hellion shots there, only losing one. Good job.
Way to go. Thumbs up. High five.
And
well,
wow.
Optimus is really sticking with his Optimus Prime style.
You know what? He's actually getting 2 reactor barracks. So he's going to have a ton of Marines.
He might go for a timing. I mean, think about it. MVP lost so many SCVs.
Yeah.
MVP's actually like not in good
I
shape.
mean, 8 SCVs behind is a pretty big deal. But, you know, I feel like MVP is really quite safe, especially considering Optimus is not getting an add-on. He just has 1 siege tank with no siege mode. And without add-ons there, for some siege tanks, Mech is actually going to own this as long as you're careful against it. I mean, siege tanks along with it, you can set up some really interesting scenarios where your opponent wants to try to break your soft contain, and then Stim Marine Marauder just owns on siege tanks too hard. But in this scenario, he's actually going to be looking for MVP to get out of position. If MVP does not get out of position, then Polt is not going to have any way to actually engage the army.
I'm surprised that he's going to get 2 reactor barracks, considering that there's already Hellions out.
Yeah.
I mean, the Marines just are not that good against
A
Hellions.
lot of interesting choices.
Well, we had a Hellion poke there by the waterfall. That's where I get my bottled water.
Taste of
Evian water.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like the baller guy that buys the really expensive bottled water.
It's like glacier water or something?
It's like, listen, is it really? It's water, man, you know? Like, no. Give me the $2 bottle of water instead of the 50-cent one.
Yeah. Comes out of the same tap every other water comes out of, probably. Poland Springs tasteless. What it means to be from Maine.
All right, so we have a lot more siege tanks coming out here. Now let's see if MVP can do a better job than Noblesse. Noblesse definitely got the strategy right, except for the push part, except for that whole attacking part.
Now, basically what should happen here is MVP should do a scan, figure out, oh, you're just going only barracks units. And then he's going to use terrain and tanks in siege mode. And, you know, he can add in Vikings if he likes. He can make missile turrets instead if he likes. It's kind of up to him. A few Hellions around, of course. But he just has to kind of make big, huge siege lines, take a third base, turtle like a crazy person until 200 supply, and really start pushing.
Look at Optimus's base. So tight. Perfect little seal there. Now he can come in from behind.
Yeah. That's really well done.
That was really well done. I got to hand it to Optimus. He's good at what he does.
Good at making depot walls. All right, so he is moving across the map. Still no add-on to his factory.
Well, he's going to commit to this.
Yep.
Now, if MVP expands too quickly, Optimus can drop in the main.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's actually a really good move. You can just kill reactors and factories and just stuff.
You definitely want a turret ring against this.
It's one of the reasons why you want to keep the Vikings near your main so you can shoot down medevacs as they come in.
Definitely helps quite a bit.
It does.
MVP has some Hellions out on the map that are just kind of checking out for any expansions that might be taken quickly by Optimus. Optimus has started his third command. MVP, on the other hand, taking it very, very slowly. No additional command center yet. Well, he might be scared of just a timing to try to kill him. Now, if he's saving up for a timing to attack, I'm going to be depressed. But no, he throws on the command center. There we go. A man who knows his mech.
He does. He's doing a really good job. He should have know how to do that because he's a StarCraft 1 pro gamer. Now playing StarCraft 2. So, for the time being, it's going to be a fairly passive game if MVP allows the game to kind of turn into that. And that Marauder actually killed 2 Hellions.
Yeah. Polt trying to catch units out of position. Almost does, but MVP gets back with his Hellions. And I think that what we're going to see from MVP here, Tasteless, is textbook play on how to rip apart a build like this. We do have Optimus actually getting a Raven at this point. And you know what? I'm trying to wrap my head around this Raven by Optimus.
Well, I mean, I assume it would be for the Viking volleys.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to fly in there and he doesn't want to lose all of his medevacs.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was going to say, Tasteless. I believe that is the case. Nothing else really seems quite right.
I mean, auto turret's good, but I don't think he's going to get it for that.
Yeah, it's kind of, with Marine Marauder, it's almost, redundant to throw those down to take shots when you can just split off a Marauder or a Marine or 2.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, 3 heals killed.
That was pretty sick right there. Line them up, Tasteless.
Very nice.
We do have 1/1 upgrades for Optimus. In the meantime, MVP is getting his +1 to attack. No more, though. He's also getting a second Raven, so he wants to be able to put down point defense drones, which is so cool because that's like the scary part is when Marauders start hitting your siege tanks. If you throw down a few point defense drones, bam.
Yeah.
That's all over. Now that was actually an impactful kill of a barracks.
Yeah, people forget that you need the barracks to make the factories.
This is actually the timing that MVP is going to want to add factories as well, just as he takes these additional gases. So that was actually really well done. And he's going to be kind of kicking himself. He's going to have to start that next barracks very, very shortly here. In fact, I'm really surprised he hasn't yet.
Yeah, otherwise MVP's going to have to turtle for a little bit longer. Now, Optimus is handling this right as well. He's realizing, or he probably already has realized, that his opponent's just going to keep turtling.
Yeah, and he's starting to take the map. So he's actually starting to play really, really well here, getting his +2/+2, making some sensor towers, taking his 4th base as the 3rd of MVP does land. But we need to see him get ready for some sort of tech switch, or he's literally just saying, well, you'll get out of position and either we'll base trade or I'll kill your army with my army. That's actually, he's waiting. Once again, I hate to, kick a dead horse, but MVP has to get out of position.
Leave him alone, Artosis.
Well, he's dead, Tasteless.
That horse is dead, man. Show some respect.
He doesn't care, man.
He doesn't care. Artosis takes the horse's head and leaves it in another nerd's bed. That's what you do, Artosis.
That's what I do. So MVP right now, looking pretty safe. He's got really great sensor tower placement. Oh,
Nice. Took out all the Vikings.
Yeah, that's really annoying for.
See you in
MVP.
hell, Vikings.
That just leaves him with his Ravens.
You know, I gotta say, Optimus is doing a damn good job with the infantry army. I think the issue is if you're on a map this big and it's mech, when the Terran pushes out, you can actually just counterattack.
That's right. I'm pretty sure he's going to just try to go for a base trade. Of course, he cannot fight heads up. They're both maxed out at this point. Another starport starting for MVP. As
He only
well as
just now started the barracks.
Yeah, just now.
Jeez,
and
it's
another
so
command
late.
center. Yeah, it's really quite late.
It's actually kind of astounding.
Now, there's going to be a huge drop that comes up pretty quickly. And he has a Raven with it. So that Raven's going to be for point defense destroying the turrets, which is really, really cool.
Oh, did they see
Very
each other?
smart move. I'm not sure.
They grazed by each other. I don't.
Yeah, they definitely did, Tasteless. And here we go! And point defense drone does go out to stop that turret. Beautiful move by Optimus. Trying to break in here. He realizes he has to get some damage done, or MVP will just crush him with his better units.
All right, they're doing a lot of damage, taking out these depots, supply blocking MVP for a little while here, and MVP was not actually maxed out, by the way. And very nice, actually. Meanwhile, Optimus Prime is just continuing to crank out a ton of units.
Trying to find a good way to attack
I don't know
it.
about this.
Yeah, this is not the right choice at all. This is absolutely the worst
Oh my
choice
God,
ever.
what is he doing?
Well,
He went from having a 20 supply lead to a 20 supply deficit in 2 seconds.
well, that's what happens when you have Marine Marauder against masses of siege tanks. Nice move by MVP, taking out these SCVs. And right now, MVP, he needs to rebuild his turret ring, throw up a lot more factories.
He's pushing.
And start taking the map. I'm scared, Tasteless.
Well,
I don't want to see a repeat of what Boxer did at MLG, where you actually just have a trillion siege tanks in siege mode, and then someone drops on them, and then they're like, "Oh, there's marauders on us. We're dead."
Well, I don't know if he can get over here in time.
Wow, that is a lot of damage. That much.
I don't even think you can repair your way out of that situation.
Well, here he goes.
Oh my God, Optimus falling into a trap by MVP. He assumed all the siege tanks were just there. You don't even need to siege in a moment like this. And Optimus right now at 110 supply. And this is pretty straightforward. This is why if you turtle like this with siege tanks, by the time you have 20 plus siege tanks to move out, it's like, well, there's not a lot you can really do.
Yeah. All right, so looks like MVP at this point. Oh man, throws on way too many.
Yeah, that was overkill. But he apparently can keep making that.
He's got to be careful, though. Look, this is what happened in Boxer. You siege him up, and then someone drops on you. And then what's up? Well,
in this case, it doesn't matter.
there. Yeah, but it could have.
It could have. And that's it. GG. Well done.
MVP into the round of 16, showing us that, in fact, Noblesse, you do have to turtle on 3 bases to 200 supply against that style.
That was interesting because we saw Noblesse and MVP go for the same styles, except that Noblesse got too eager to push.
Artosis weren't pulling no legs.
Nope.
No, he weren't.
You weren't yanking our chains, Artosis. Optimus right now is down 0-2.
No, he's 1-1.
He's 1-1. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry,
He should have been 0-2
for a long time. Sorry.
from both those games, but he's 1-1, man. So we're going to see Noblesse against MC. The loser of it actually goes up and down. Imagine if MC went up and down. That would be wild.
That would
and
be
it's
crazy.
Not out. I mean, this is a best of one.
It's
Tasteless.
feasible.
Noblesse is actually really good. He's a very good player. I very much like to watch him. If he kills MC, that's scary. And then the winner of that, of course, goes on to fight Optimus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to see an MC Optimus match tonight.
I want to see that because they're just so good. But
that would be really nice.
It's interesting to see that Polt Prime was so outclassed there in that TBT.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see Polt was certainly what he was doing. The problem was actually when he attacked into the main.
Well, he had a great idea. I love the idea.
He tried to run up the ramp into the main. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no. The drop I thought was a really cool idea.
The drop was actually good. It actually put him in a lead. But then he's like, and stimming some of my stuff in. And it's like, no, man.
Yeah, he should have used more scans, really gotten the position of the tanks down. The thing is, MVP had such a spread that he knew he was always in the right place because he waited for maxed units.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to our next two players. It's going to be MC against Noble S. Right now we have the OGS coach in there talking to MC for a minute. MC is known for being a cocky guy, a trash talker, but you got to be careful. He's already down one game. MVP completely crushed him.
Well, MVP is in top shape, top form.
Oh, yeah.
He is definitely someone I'm predicting at very far in this GSL.
He has the eye of the
might
tiger.
be able to take his third. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, now Noble S is very good, but this is his first time in Code S. He did get destroyed by Polt early on. So, we're going to start this game pretty soon. Are you ready, Artosis?
I am actually so pumped to see this match. I really am. I want to see what type of style that Noble S wants to use. And MC, I am hoping that we see some safe and solid play out of him. I would hate to see him go down to the up and down. As much as I like Noble S, we need MC, man.
Well, MC is really going to enhance the entire show with his baller presence. It's time. The game is now loading. MC against Noble S. Protoss against Terran. Right now, they're both down one game. The loser is going to be in a lot of trouble and be stuck up and down. The winner still has a shot. All right, head-to-head. Here at the GSL Code S, it's time.